then the Down record, I mean, that record, let's definitely talk about that, because that first Down record was just so. How did Down come about? Did Phil just call you guys and get you together? Like, how did that band materialize?
Pretty much. I mean, I used to talk to Phil all the time. He's not much of a phone person these days, but we talk all the time. And he was living in Texas. Pantera were taking off. Pepper was living in North Carolina. COC were in between Blind and Deliverance at the time.
I love those albums too.
Oh, they're amazing. And they were kind of finding out, I guess, that Pepper was gonna be the singer and for the band. But Phil,
I'm glad he was.
I mean, I love Carl, and I love on record, but I mean, Pepper's a amazing vocalist.
Wise Blood and Deliverance are like two of my favorite records of all time.
Oh, they're fucking great. I mean, everything, we had the pleasure of playing mini shows and then touring. We did 2 tours in 2019 pre-COVID days that were like fucking 35, 40 days long. We did one early in the year, and then we did one at the end of the summer going into the fall, all in North America. We did a lot of Canadian dates, and we hit pretty much every market with them. And it was fucking amazing. It was COC, Crowbar, and then we had Weed Eater on some stuff, Mothership, and then I don't want to leave anybody out. Mainly that was the package was COC, Crowbar, Weed Eater, and Mothership.
Oh wow.
I'm trying to think. Somebody else played some stuff as well, but yeah, it was a great tour where everybody, just had everything in common and got along really, really well. And I think, like, to me, and I believe that Pepper feels the same way. At that point, I wasn't in Down, so we hung out so much. We always have hung out with Down from the beginning, and on off days, me and Pepper would go out and hit the bars and whatever.
So was it just like Pepper and Phil's thing originally, or?
Well, I mean, it was kind of like Phil called me up, asked me, and said, "Look, all right, I talked to Pepper already or whatever, and why don't we get Big Todd because he's in Crowbar? Let's just get him. That makes all the sense in the world." And Jimmy Bauer was not in. He was the original drummer for what became Crowbar, but he was in I Hate God on guitar, but he was not playing drums with anybody other than a few small projects that they had one that I really like. Drip was a cool demo they put out. He did some stuff, but not a whole shitload. It was kind of like, let's get Jimmy on drums and let's get you and Pepper on guitar and we'll get Big Todd on bass and we'll just get in the room and see what happens,
That song Stone the Crow from the first Down record, I like that. To me is like a classic track. That's like almost like a Led Zeppelin song or something.
Thanks. You guys, I agree. It's a great fucking song, man.
How did that come about? Is that your riffs or Pepper's riffs, or did you guys?
Pepper, that's mainly Pepper's. Like, a lot of people ask me stuff, and for a while during the COVID lockdown, I was doing online guitar lessons, and I told people, I said, look, I'm not I play by ear. I mean, I know the notes on the guitar. I like to think, without patting myself on the back, I have a great ear, great sense of timing and stuff like that, and a great sense of creativity. But I said, I can't teach you how to, all the technical theory and whatnot, but I can teach you how to play Crowbar and Down and Kingdom of Sorrow at the time, songs that you want. And it went over really good. And a lot of people are asking me certain things about certain songs, and I'm like, well, Pepper started that one or wrote that one. Like, I don't know how to play the opening riff of Stone the Crow because he plays it, and I come in with down, down, down. So we've always kind of been that band that, if I come up with a riff, he'll do something completely different, and vice versa, because we play so differently. Although the two gel perfectly, which is that's really the way it should be. It shouldn't be two guys hammering out you should have different styles that complement one another. And I think that makes it a lot more interesting. So I don't even know how to play I guess because I don't need to, because I don't play it.
Yeah, yeah.
Whole part to it, you know. But
Right.
that was Pepper. You know, the opening riff. The main thing is Pepper's. You know, Pepper's thing, and it's a great song. That song live is just great because Phil can just literally do this, not even, and the whole crowd is just singing. You know, it's just one of those. It's an anthem thing in its own right. You know.
Yeah, that album, man. There's another song in there, Jail. That song, Jail.
Mm-hmm.
That was one I remember, like as a teenager, like taking acid and shrooms and stuff. I'd be like, oh, I gotta hear that song.
Yeah, it's good for all that.
It's such a good trip song.
That I no longer do, but yeah, it's good for all that stuff for sure, man. That thing was written at Phil's house, and
It's got the Planet Caravan vibe.
Oh, big time! That's what it was supposed to be, you know. Even in that song, it was kind of like, I think Lil Daddy, we called him Joey Lacaze, a drummer from My Hey God that passed away. I think he was like, Phil had like plastic pumpkins or something. He was using them kind of like bongos or something. And if I'm not mistaken, he might have even played bongos, or Jimmy might have done it in the studio, but it was one of them things, and it totally has a Planet Caravan.
That song, it like breathes too. Like the song has like a breath to it. Like it's such a cool song.
I call it, and you're right, that's the perfect term. I call it, it's real. It's breathy. It's just, you know, it's just like, wow. Like, even if you're not on acid or fucking, you know, I mean, if you're just stone cold sober, it's still kind of one of those. You can just sit back and chill, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Did you guys record? You guys recorded that whole record yourselves, right?
We did it at a studio that's no longer there. It got, ironically, it flooded during the recording.
Oh.
On May 8th of 1995, it flooded. So we were in the studio, but it got washed away with Katrina. But it was a really top-notch, like really nice studio called Ultrasonic. And Matt Thomas, who was a guitar player for Crowbar at the time, produced it with us. And David Farrell, who came to a Crowbar show back in July. It was great. He's a great dude, older than us, but he had a lot of experience from, you know, started out with bands like Kansas and stuff like that. And David was the main engineer, and Matt kind of produced it along with the band, really. But it was recorded at Ultrasonic, you know, 2-inch reel, everything old school. And, you know, Matt kind of got our guitar tones for us, and we're like, sounds great, you know, and that was that. We had almost everything written. I think Underneath Everything and Rehab were kind of still needed to be written. And then Phil had a couple of segue pieces, like Prayed to the Locusts or something.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
That's one of his little like acoustic things he wrote that was like a segue piece. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a classic album, very classic. You know, the memories of that thing will last forever with, I'm sure, all of us, you know, because, you know, it's cool to hang out with your friends and come up with something that, 28 years later, you know, I think it's platinum now or something. It's like 20 people are still fucking like, wow, you know.